Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Hachiko and we are going to learn Japanese with video games. Yay! So I know about how we Japanese learners are. We get a little bit daunted and bored with just going through our textbooks and having to learn all this Japanese grammar, Japanese vocabulary, katakana, hiragana, kanji. It gets a little bit boring after a while, and I know that we just want something that's going to break up that boredom, right? So I decided that maybe it would be nice to make a channel where we learn Japanese through video games and see how it's actually applied in certain genres like video games, anime, movies, things like that. And if you don't know already, you can go to the system settings here and you would scroll all the way down to system in order to change your Nintendo Switch to Japanese, Nihongo. So that'll be Nihongo in kanji characters. And it will change your whole system and your games that have the language supported for it to Japanese. So that means like big games like Splatoon 3, Mario Kart, Mario Odyssey, they'll all change to the Japanese language. So we're going to start with Animal Crossing, which is Atsumare Dobutsu no Mori. And that just means animals gathered in a forest. So if you also, another thing, if you don't know a lot about hiragana and katakana, because this game uses kana on top of the kanji, it would be a great help that you stop this video and go through your hiragana and katakana characters again, because otherwise it would be very difficult to follow along with me with these sentences, because I'm not going to explain about the hiragana and katakana from here. So without further ado, let's get started. And just a quick disclosure, I just wanted to let you know that I'm not a licensed Japanese teacher or a licensed teacher. So if you are looking for a Japanese teacher, I would highly recommend that you go online or go through your university, and they should be able to give you the resources that you need. If you want to, you can also check out some Japanese YouTubers on YouTube, because I know a bunch of them, and I linked my favorite ones in the description. Alright, so now we're going to start here with the basics. We're going to go through how the sentence order is in Japanese. So the sentence order has three things in it. It's going to be subject, object, and verb. And your subject, object, verb is what makes the Japanese sentence. This is a little different from the English version, which is subject, verb, object. So the verb and the object are switched, and that can get a little confusing because there can be some times where you look at the sentence and it doesn't really make sense, right? So, but don't worry, we're going to go a little slowly through this so that way we can get an idea on how the subject, object, verb will work. So let's start with this first sentence. Konnichiwa, yokoso, okoshi kudasai mashita. Konnichiwa, yokoso, okoshi kudasai mashita. So here they're saying hello or good afternoon, and yokoso just means to welcome or welcome to our the counter here. And okoshi kudasai mashita. Okoshi kudasai mashita actually comes from a noun that is called okoshi, which just means coming and going. So it's like they're basically welcoming you to the counter, but at the same time saying like thank you for coming to our counter, like specifically ours. So it's like they're kind of greeting you and also thanking you at the same time. And just so you know, a complete Japanese sentence actually just needs to end with a verb. So okoshiku gozaimashita is the complete to complete the Japanese sentence. So you don't always need a subject and an object there. So that actually just ends the sentence. So just think of the verb as like an ending part. Alright, so the next sentence is, this is the deserted island getaway package counter. And just so you know, I'm just going over the meanings of the sentences. So if they do become a little different than the actual English translation for the sentence, then don't worry about it too much, because we're just going over the meanings. So kochira wa mujin to iiju package no tetsuzuki counter de gozaimasu. Kochira wa mujin to iiju package no tetsuzuki counter de gozaimasu. And those are some vocabulary words that you might need to know. So kochira wa, so the subject actually follows before the wa, so that it marks this is. And the wa is a particle, which we'll get more into another video later on. But particles are part of Japanese grammar, so this would be your subject particle. So mujin to iiju package no is also a particle, and that is the possessive particle. So it's like a possessive noun. So no tetsuzuki counter de. And de is also another particle, because that just means of, or it marks the object right there. Alright, so the next one we have Soshite boku tachi wa kono iiju package no gaido o tsutomete orimasu. Toniki kaihatsu no mamakichi to. So first part is Soshite boku tachi, which is before the first particle, so wa, and that would be your subject. They're just talking about themselves at this point, so they're saying we are, and kono iiju package is the object, so that would be the deserted island getaway package no gaido, and that actually just means guide. So it's the possessive particle, right? Again, right here. So this would be your entire objectal phrase. And then tsutomete orimasu. Tsutomete orimasu comes from the verb tsutomeru. So tsutomeru means to work or to serve. So tsutomete is the te form of tsutomeru, and orimasu is your verb, your entire verb right there. And then that's just saying that they're going to serve you as your guide for the deserted island getaway package. And tanuki kaihatsu no mamakichi to. So tanuki kaihatsu, I also want to note that it may be very helpful to have a dictionary next to you, so that way you can look up words and vocabulary. So if you don't know what the vocabulary means, you can just look it up on your dictionary, and Japanese jisho, and then that will help you find out what the vocabulary words mean. But tanuki is the animal, and then of course kaihatsu is something like the company that they're working for, so that's nook. So tanuki kaihatsu. It's pretty interesting how they changed it into just that simple word nook. So, and then mamakichi is the person you're or the raccoon dog that you're talking to. So that's his name. So, and again, like I said, it's probably helpful to have a Japanese dictionary next to you or handy. There are plenty of Japanese dictionary apps, so I linked some of mine that I use on a daily basis, and that I've used for this video, so that way you can check that out as well in the description. So this whole sentence: now then, we are your island getaway package guides, Mama Kichi. And that's how he's going to introduce his name here. So, そして僕たちはこの移住パッケージのガイドを務めております。手抜き開発のママキチと。And now that we're on the subject about the dictionary, I believe I might have made a mistake here with kaihatsu. I think its actual meaning is exploitation and development. So a little interesting about that exploitation part, because of course in the game of Animal Crossing they really do a lot with developing the island with you, but aren't you feeling a little exploited at some point because you have to pay so much for the different developments that you have to get? So yeah. And then Tsubukichi de gozaimasu, and I'm Tsubukichi, and that's his name. So that goes with the intro that we just got off of. So as long as you know about the context and what follows before this sentence, then you will understand why it only has a subject and a verb at the very end, and that makes the complete Japanese sentence. So again, a full Japanese sentence only needs a verb at the end of it. And you could say that de is just, well, de gozaimasu. De is just like of, or well, basically introducing him. So introducing his name, that's a particle. So you could say that's an object as well, kinda. It's part of like what he's trying to say about his name. So yeah. So let's get into the next one here and go on. So this next sentence is a little longer. Boku tachi futari mo okyakusama to tomo ni shima ni watari kurashi no supporto o sasete itadakimasu no de sue nagaku onegai itashimasu ne. So first part here is boku tachi futari mo. And mo is also a subject particle, but that just means also or and, so it adds to the subject. So they're talking about themselves, and then okyakusama totomo ni. So okyakusama is you, the customer, you're the client. So they're saying themselves and you. Tomo ni. Tomo is together. So together we are going to shima. So ni is the particle for going, for to, or in, or at. So shima ni watari kurashi no supporto o. And shima is the island that you're going to. Watari means ferry, and then kurashi means like life or livelihood. So it's like they're no supporto. So no again is that possessive particle right there. And supporto. So supporto is just support. So they're going to support you throughout your life here at the deserted island, so that way you can be comfortable and settle in. So sasete itadakimasu no de is your verb. So sasete itadakimasu no de just means that is the polite version of saying to let us do this for you. And then sue nagaku onegai itashimasu ne. Sue nagaku, let me just take a look here in my dictionary for that one, because that one's a little bit complex. So that just means forever or many years. So they're saying that they're going to help you or support you in your new life at this island for many years to come. So they're going to basically, well, it might not be forever, but they're going to be helping you get adjusted, and that's what they want to do with their time with you. So yeah. And of course, you may have noticed about the sentences here, the verbs sasete itadakimasu no de onegai itashimasu ne. These are a certain form of keigo. So it's like a politeness form to show respect in the Japanese language. So depending on who you're talking to, it can be your senior or someone older than you or your senpai. Then you have a different form of politeness that you use with them than what you would use with your colleague or someone who's the same age as you or someone who's younger than you or your kohai. So that's where this keigo comes in. But I'll probably explain more about keigo in another video, because of course you'll see it's a lot in the Animal Crossing with the tanuki. So basically with Mamakichi and Subukichi, they're going to address you in a different way in this super politeness form. And the regular polite form for Japanese is mas. So it always has like the verb end with mas, the mas end verbs. And but with them, they're saying itashimasu and itadakimasu. So that is a little bit more of a different form of politeness that they're using with you, because you are the customer. And oops, looks like my switch fell asleep. So basically with the politeness form here, they're basically addressing you this way because they want you to get they're wanting to sell something to you. So they want you to buy into this deserted island getaway package. Basically, something like that. So, and now we'll get into the next one. Alright, それでは早速ですが、無人と平住するための準備を今から進めてまいります。それでは早速ですが、無人と平住するための準備を今から進めてまいります。So they're saying without further ado. So それでは早速ですが, that just means like right now or very soon or quickly. We're going to get into explaining more about this deserted island that you're going to. So the Mujinto again is the deserted part. And then iju means migration. So iju suru tame no. So iju suru is the verb in this sentence as well. And that's your object before it, the mujinto. Hey. And hey is another particle that we'll go over in another video later on. It just means towards or to. Junbi o is junbi is preparation, so that's like coming from the verb junbi suru. So that just means they're going to prepare you to go to for this island getaway package. And o is just your a particle that means of, or like it marks the object in the sentence. So junbi o ima kara susumete mairimasu. Susumete comes from the verb susumeru, which means to go forward, and mairimasu comes from mairu, which means to go or to visit. Alright, and then with this next one, saisho ni omoshikomi no kakunin o itashimasu ga, okyakusama wa iju package no goryou wa hajimete de gozaimasu ka? So here they're asking you a question. The first part is saisho ni, so lastly, and then omoshikomi and no kakunin itashimasu ga. So ga here is a particle, but it acts as but. So it just means a conjunction right here. They're saying that they're going to check something with you, but they're not sure if you're going to actually comply or, like say something. So that's basically what it means for this sentence. And kakunin just means to check something. So kakunin o itashimasu ga. And then okyakusama wa is your subject again. So you have two phrases in this sentence. So their saisho ni would be your subject. Object is omoshikomi no kakunin, and then o itashimasu ga. That's just your object. So and then the next part, okyakusama wa iju package no. So iju package is going to be your object. No goryou wa hajimete gozaimasu ka? And hajimete comes from the verb hajimeru, so that just means your first time. They're saying, is this your first time doing the deserted island getaway package? Is this your first time traveling with us? So again here, the whole sentence, it's just basically means that they're going to check this one piece of information that they need from you, so that way they can understand if this is your first time using their services, or if this is your first time traveling to the deserted island, or a deserted island getaway package. So something like that is what I interpreted it as. And so you have two options here, and you can say hajimete desu, which would mean that yes, it's your first time, or yoso no shima kara no kakoshi desu. So yoso no shima kara no kakoshi desu, hikoshi desu, sorry. So that just means that you're moving from another island. So there's that second option where you can say that you're moving from another island, or you're starting this for the first time. And so for this, we're going to say starting. So kashikomarimashita. Kashikomarimashita is just like certainly, got it. So they're just saying or confirming that you said that this will be your first time doing the deserted island getaway package. And again, that's just like the ending phrase. So kashikomarimashita still comes from a verb, so that is your complete Japanese sentence. And in this next one is それではお申し込みを確認いたしますので、お客様のお名前とお誕生日を教えていただけますか? So the first part we've been over a little bit. It's a little different because it has no de instead of ga, but it's still the same thing. They're going to check something with you. So this one part of information. So お客様のお名前とお誕生日を教えていただけますか? So the okiakusama no, that is your subject, and that is you, the customer. And then onamae to otanjobi is the two objects in the sentence. So that's your objectal phrase. And then o oshiete itadakemasu ka is will you tell us your name and your birthday? And for this, I'm going to use my name, Hachiko. And then it's going to ask you another question here. Hachiko-san de yoroshi desu ka? Is that your name? Is that you? So you have two options. You have kangae naosu. And kangae comes from the verb kangaeru, which means to think, and naosu comes from naosu, which is to fix something. So that just means you would think over it again if you weren't sure that you wanted to use this name. So, but if you are good with it, you can just hit OK. And then your birthday comes next. So now you get to set your birthday. You can pick whatever you want. I usually just go with like a random birthday that I feel would be suited for the character. So yeah. And then in the red characters below, we're going to go over these sentences real quick. We didn't go over them before with the name part. So Tanjobi wa henko dekimasen. Tanjobi wa henko dekimasen. That just means that you can't change your birthday later once you set it. And then the next part is sushin de shiranai hito ni mirareru kanosei ga arimasu. And that's just a warning, just letting you know that people or a stranger might see your birthday on the screen. So when you meet them, you know, you can meet people in co-op. So that just means that a person that you don't know, shiranai hito, is literally a person you don't know. So a stranger may see your birthday, and that may be an issue for you personally. So they give you these warnings in any game, and they'll let you know about them. So otanjobi wa 10月31日でよろしいですか? So that's just asking, are you okay with this? Is this your birthday? And you can pick okay or ire naosu. So ire naosu is two verbs combined again here. So ire comes from the verb ireru, and naosu comes from the verb to fix, and that just means that you're going to put it in again, or you're going to think about it and choose a different birthday because that wasn't the birthday that you wanted to choose. So yeah. But if you're okay with it, you just hit okay. Alright, and then they said, Hi, kakunin dekimashita. Hi, kakunin dekimashita. So yay, you did it. So this is the part where they've checked you all in and you are good to go. And now that I've seen how long this video has gone on for, I think I'm going to end it right here because the introduction is already a long introduction for this game. So and I didn't know it was going to go on for this long, but I'm going to make another video and we'll just continue from this point. And if you like this video, please give me a like, and some comments would be nice if I can get some comments. And if you want, you can also give me like game suggestions on games that you want to see in my videos for us to go over in Japanese, and we can do that as well in other videos that I make. So thank you. Arigato. それじゃあね